UFC fans have had enough. After months of silence, delays, and empty promises, the Jon Jones vs. Tom Aspinall saga has boiled over, and now, the outrage is aimed squarely at Dana White. With Aspinall stuck holding the longest interim reign in UFC history and Jones nowhere to be found, fans are demanding answers, action, and accountability. Is the UFC protecting Jon Jones at the expense of the division? Or worse, at the expense of the sport's future? UFC fans are growing increasingly furious with Dana White over his inability, or unwillingness, to make the Jon Jones vs. Tom Aspinall fight a reality. It's been nearly 6 months since Aspinall won the interim heavyweight title in explosive fashion, knocking out Sergey Pavlovich in just 69 seconds. Since then, fans have waited patiently for the UFC to announce the unification bout, a matchup that was teased all the way back in November 2023. Instead, what they've gotten is silence, conflicting reports, and vague reassurances from Dana White that everything you hear is bulls****** until the UFC makes it official. While Jon Jones recovers from injury and stays on the sidelines, Aspinall's momentum is being wasted, and the entire division remains frozen. Many fans see this as a blatant lack of urgency from Dana and the UFC, who appear more focused on protecting a fading star than keeping the heavyweight division moving. The longer the wait drags on, the more it feels like the UFC is turning its back on one of its most promising and active heavyweights, and fans are fed up with the endless limbo. The outrage isn't just about the delay, it's also about accountability. More and more fans are demanding that Dana White strip Jon Jones of the heavyweight title, arguing that it's unfair for a champion to go nearly a year or more without defending the belt. Jon hasn't fought since November 2023, when he finished Stipe Miocic, and he's been sidelined ever since due to injury. But instead of clearing the way for the division to move forward, Dana White has allowed the title to be held in limbo, refusing to take any action that might jeopardize Jon Jones' standing. To many fans, this feels like favoritism. They see a pattern: Jon Jones, a fighter with a history of controversy and inactivity, gets every benefit of the doubt, while hungry contenders like Aspinall are left waiting. Social media is flooded with angry comments, with fans shouting, "Take the F******ing belt away from Jon Jones," and calling him a detriment to the sport. The sentiment is that Jones is no longer contributing to the division and that his continued reign, propped up by Dana White, is doing more harm than good. What was once anticipation for a dream matchup has now turned into resentment. Fans believe that by not enforcing the same expectations on Jon Jones as other champions, Dana White is actively damaging the credibility of the division and the sport. Quick question for you guys: do you think Dana White is protecting Jon Jones, or is there more going on behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I'm reading all of them. Beyond the delays and inaction, what's really striking a nerve with fans is the growing belief that Tom Aspinall is being disrespected by the UFC, and Dana White in particular. After stepping up on short notice and delivering one of the most impressive knockouts in heavyweight history, Aspinall became interim champ in dominant fashion. Yet despite holding the belt and proving he's a legitimate force, he's been left in a strange, uncertain position with no fight booked, no clear timeline, and little public backing from the promotion. Fans are livid that Aspinall, who has done everything right, stayed active, stayed ready, and stayed respectful, has been pushed to the sidelines while Jon Jones is treated like untouchable royalty. One fan raged, "It's disgusting how Tom Aspinall got robbed of an undisputed heavyweight title reign." Another said, "This is F***ing embarrassing, get your ST together, Dana White." These aren't just emotional outbursts, they reflect a genuine sense that the UFC is undermining the legitimacy of the interim belt and disrespecting a fighter who's earned his shot. Worse, the situation sets a troubling precedent, that even if you climb to the top of the mountain, you can still be ignored if the UFC doesn't prioritize your star power. The longer this drags on, the more fans feel like Aspinall isn't just waiting, he's being actively sidelined. And for many, Dana White is the one to blame. If you're tired of the UFC holding up the heavyweight division, hit that like button and make your voice heard. Subscribe for more fight talk, real takes, and all the drama the UFC won't tell you about. This story isn't over, and we're not letting it slide. Subscribe to our channel MMA Thread for daily updates on UFC and MMA.